Good morning. I was looking at a Twitter feed called Scarred for Life yesterday, and they are creating a book and they're doing a live show as well. I'll put the link in the description of creepy children's TV and adverts in the 70s and 80s, and it got me thinking about the things that scared me as a child. Now, as you may know, I love to read and write weird stuff, I love creepy stuff, and I often wonder how British television around that time affected a lot of young minds and guided them towards things that are very peculiar. Now, I'll start with one that's a little bit before my time. I think it was on TV in 1980, and it was on this Scarred for Life Twitter feed. And I think it might have been an inspiration for the League of Gentlemen with Hillary character and the special stuff. And if you watch it, you'll know what I mean. And just imagine that they are not talking about pork.
Got what it takes, my wife. Got friends round. Got roast pork for lunch. Plenty of taste, British folk. Real value for money. Fred's got plenty. Arthur's got plenty. We've all got plenty. Plenty to go round. My wife's got what it takes.
British pork. What's it got? It's got the lot.
Got pork for lunch on Sunday?
It didn't really scare me, but there was a very weird memory in my mind of these PSAs, an animation of a boy and his cat, and of course it then became a very famous Prodigy rave tune. Everyone knows the noise the cat made, but at the time it is a very peculiar thing in the back of my mind from when I very first saw it.
So we told him to wait while we went and asked. But Mum was talking to the milkman. And she talked such a long time that when I had asked her and she'd said yes, the others had gone. Charlie says, always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere so she knows who you are with.
Now, this next advert did really scare me. They're doing Invasion of the Body Snatchers, of course, but at the time, as a small child, I didn't realise this. I just wondered why Bertie Bassett's sweeties were trying to traumatise me.
They should have known.
It's got so out of control.
Putting Bassett's licorice all sorts into a handy-sized bag. This was bound to happen. Looks like we're the only ones left.
Bassett's licorice all sorts. One too many, and you might turn Bertie.
One of my favourite programmes when I was very little was Nightmare, with a K. And it was a game where a kid would have a helmet on and his friends would guide him around.
Walk forward.
Go
straight
stop.
forward.
Just stop.
Go forward again.
Slightly forward. Stop. That's it.
And Treguard was very, clearly a very British actor. And he was a fantasy type character, and he would guide them through their journey.
I, Treguard, issue the challenge. Beyond that portal lies the dungeon of deceit, which I alone have mastered.
But there was a timer that would come up, and it was a human face, and pieces would come off it until it was a skull. And I remember running to my mum whenever that came on the telly, but it was more of a thrill. I was excited to be frightened, and Mum would be like, it's all right, and it was kind of fun. And also the programme contained quite a few funny deaths as well.
Morning, team. Nothing here is stable. Proceed with care, but don't delay. Silent. Yes. Side step to your left.
But this next thing, I may have been younger than when Nightmare was on, I'm not sure, because it really did affect me. It was a children's series called Look and Read, and they had various really strange dramas, and would then interrupt the programme to explain how to spell something or, things about words and stuff like that. And I remember an episode that they did, The Boy from Outer Space, was kind of made fun of on Ponderland because it's just really creepy.
He came towards us. He was tall and thin, and he had a mac and a hat on. He looked very pale and strange.
I didn't find it until now, and this was the main reason I wanted to do this video. My childhood memory of Dark Towers is just terrifying.
Dust and cobwebs everywhere, footsteps on the winding stair, mystery is in the air, in Dark Towers.
But when you look at this thing compared to Nightmare, I don't know why I was so much more scared of this. I don't know if it was because rather than pieces it was ghostly or what. But basically it's about a girl, she loses her dog, she finds this dark tower, and there are lords, a young lord, an older lord.
Look out!
You can't scare me. Oh, hello.
Who are you then?
I'm Tracy Brown. I'm looking for my dog. Who are you?
Lord Dark.
Oh no, not another one. But look, what about that boy? He said he was Lord Dark too.
Edward is my son.
Oh, yeah. Listen, if you two are lords, why is this place so scruffy?
Well, some lords are poor. I'm an artist. Not much money in that.
But then she finds her dog and it's barking at a painting, and this painting is such a vivid and terrifying memory for me. It really scared me, and when you look at it you're going to laugh at me, but just remember I was very small.
Is it that picture?
Why is it so cold, Father?
Look! Look at the picture!
I just want to remind you that this was to teach kids how to read, and I guess it worked because the memories of these programs that they did really stayed with a lot of people.
Read it with me. Tracy was a loner.
And I finished on a fun one. I was a little bit older and I read a book by Paul Jennings called Quirky, and they were short stories and he did quite a few of them and I became addicted to them. They were absolutely brilliant. I loved them. But there was one called The Santa Claus, and it really scared me, and it was the picture I think that really did it. And basically the premise is that Santa Claus is actually called Claus with a W because he climbs down the chimney using his claws. And these short stories by Paul Jennings became a TV show that he, I believe, wrote as well, called Round the Twist, which I know everyone remembers who's old like me. But I just remember that when the music came on, that and Erie, Indiana, I think, in the era were my two favourite things. And I particularly remember the Without My Pants episode, which was a ghost who needed his trousers back, and he haunted the boy and made him finish each sentence with "without my pants" until he gave him his trousers back.
I've got something to show you all. Without my pants.
Proper report, Peter.
This is the show of Ben Byron. The bones want to be reunited. They make you cry whenever you go near them. The dog is a ghost dog, 100 years old. He's going to say it. Watch him, watch him. Here we go. Go on. Yes! Without my pants.
And it was loads of fun, but I just remember the thrill and the terror of that picture of the Santa Claus. Okay, that's about it. Enjoy the spookies, and I will see you later.